Hi, my name is Penny, and I am thrilled to have my guest for this afternoon's, evening, morning conversation. And this time we're going to South Africa. We're going to Cape Town, I believe, Cape Town, where Table Mountain is. And my guest for today is Gareth, whom I met, who graciously invited me to speak in Johannesburg before and then Cape Town. So, Gareth, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, good afternoon, Penny. My name is Gareth Pritchard. Yes, we met many years ago in South Africa, and Penny shared her massive experience with us, all of my colleagues here in South Africa. I run a mini version of IBPAP in South Africa in one of the regions near right at the bottom of the country, the Western Cape, where CapeTown is. And I'm CEO of an organization called Business Process Enabling South Africa, BPESA, which, as I say, is just responsible for the region of the Western Cape.
Okay, and thank you, Gareth, for inviting me there because I was able to go to that point, Cape of Good Hope. Is that it? And
Yes.
yes, and I was able to see the Table Mountain. And I was so surprised to see Cape Town. I didn't expect it to be that way, and I told you I wish I would brought my husband with me at that time. Anyway, it was
Yes,
such
we're glad you didn't, but next time you must bring him.
it was such a lovely experience with the winery and all. Mhm.
Yes, it's definitely, I'm not sure who's watching this video. I'm sure the whole world. And Cape Town is open for business and it's open for pleasure as well.
It's open. You're not locked down.
Well, we're locked down. Actually, we are locked down, but we're locked down for another 2 weeks. As of today, it's been extended. So we will be out of lockdown possibly by the 1st of May then.
I think worldwide we have the same schedule. Most of us do. So, so Gareth, how is it like now? I know you and I were both in the, you still are in the IBPAP equivalent in South Africa. How is outsourcing, offshoring, um, business process management been affected by the lockdown in South Africa?
It's been massively affected, like every sector. We're not immune. We have in the country roughly 60,000 employees in our sector, very small compared to the Philippines, and at least half of those aren't working at the moment, if not more. And we discussed it earlier, the majority are having to work from home in non-essential services. And we do have, I think, a definition of essential services, which is common to every country. And we try and then supply essential services to our offshore partners, predominantly in the UK, but also in Australia and the States.
Mhm. So it's been affected as well.
Say it again, please, Penny.
So it has been affected as well, similar to here.
Massively affected, and companies are being pushed to their limits to keep their staff and not retrench. But it's a challenge every day that the lockdown continues. The more difficult it becomes. One of our biggest challenges at the moment is that we have in Cape Town alone about 10,000 people, young people who could be working, but we're unable, because of the lockdown, to get the hardware transported to them. So it wouldn't be allowed for someone to go into a BPO and set up the hardware and then transport it to individual homes. That's a bit of a challenge, which we're trying to sort out as we speak.
Yes, I know that was a challenge as well for us here. And for us here, it's also the slow internet connectivity, which we experienced before we went live, before we started recording, right? Um,
Yes.
so what about you? What keeps you busy? Are you just staying home?
Yeah, I 99% of the time I've stayed at home. I did go to one of our BPOs last week, and we were allowed to check what was going on. They were providing essential services to a UK client, and they asked me to come and just check the environment and see that everything was according to the regulations. And we've introduced, I'm sure, as the Philippines have as well, we've introduced regulations to make sure that, for example, social distancing in the workplace is adhered to, that the staff are there of their own free will. So that was the only exception where I did go out. But apart from that, I would say every day is chock-a-block with calls. Zoom didn't exist 3 weeks ago, and now it's our main tool, isn't it? And a lot of the work that we would be doing is just making sure there's a bridge built between all of the operators and the suppliers, and also government entities, to make sure that we're all doing what we can. Firstly, to provide essential services, but also from an economic development point of view, to make sure that those people who could be working in a safe space are working in a safe space. And every morning I think, well, that must be the end. There can't be any more conversations. But then the next morning the calls start coming in, and something else has come up. So it is morning, noon, and night Zoom calls. Just building bridges, I suppose, would be the easiest way of describing it.
Yeah, it's 24/7 for the BPO industry. And even because you have clients in the US and clients in Australia, that really makes it 24/7.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
and you have the added complication, don't you, that you have, maybe let's take the UK as an example. They have their own definition of essential services, and it's not a universal definition. So the South African government has reacted very fast by introducing lockdown very early, and has introduced a very strict view of what essential services are, and for me, very clear view. And the UK would have a completely different view, a much more liberal view of what essential services are. So you have an inherent challenge there, conflict almost, to make sure that you're all singing off the same hymn sheet as far as the definition of essential services is concerned.
oh yeah, I think the one of the essential services that we in the BPO we are servicing would be the banking sector. And the banking sector is doing a lot more now because of having to help small businesses and large businesses as well. And
Yeah.
trying times, really trying times. So, my question for you, Gareth, what keeps you busy aside from working and drinking wine?
Well, you hit it. It's the wine keeps you sane. Well, it's I live, I live in a flat, so there's no garden, or there's just a balcony. I'm lucky I have a really lovely view, but it really is. It would be wrong if I said it's all work and no play. But there's as much. What can one do in a flat 24 hours a day? So there's a lot of reading, a lot of catching up with family overseas, using this channel, much more than one did before, perhaps. Just checking in on that everyone's okay, and planning for the future, and also I think a lot of people are doing the same. There are so many interesting courses online. And I've been actually working with a partner in India, and they've been helping me upskill myself for the at weekends. And tomorrow I've got Saturday and Sunday online training with my colleagues in India.
So what are you studying, if it's not too confidential?
Well, it's you won't remember, but I've got a small passion around the leadership challenges in the BPO sector, and both India and the Philippines have been through those discussions earlier than we have. And I have a partner in Bangalore, Ravi, who runs an organization called I Am On Track. And basically, they've been just updating me on state-of-the-art leadership discussions. And, you know, we will be talking about virtual leadership and things like that as well. So, yeah, that's where I am. You're never too old to learn.
Oh, never. Never, never, ever too old to learn. The only time you stop learning is when you're 6 feet down the ground or you're in ashes. And that's not about to happen soon. Right.
Thanks for the reassuring words.
Yes, I remember, just a side story. I remember having a conversation with Jack Canfield, who's my mentor. And at the time I went to South Africa, I was already a Canfield certified trainer. And when I interviewed him, I asked him, you know, Jack, people are saying, why will I set goals? Why will I set a goal now? You know, I don't even know what tomorrow will bring. Why should I set a goal? And the first thing that he said is, you have to set a goal. And the first goal is to survive, to be able to survive this pandemic and then thrive after that. So
yeah, well spoken.
Yeah, so what you're learning is something that you can use after the pandemic.
Definitely. No, it's been really engaging. They have wonderful trainers there, and it's been very valuable, I have to say.
Okay, and so thank you for your time. Just last question, what advice can you give to people all around the world, because I have friends from all around the world, on what they can do at this time that we have so much time in our hands and people say, I'm bored. So what advice?
Well, I mean, I suppose there are two angles to that. The one is, or three even. So it's definitely a time where you've got to maintain those relationships that you have wherever they might be, and some of them could be 20 meters away, and you're not allowed to talk to them face to face. That's the one angle. Second angle is that, my goodness, we've got so much time. It would be sad if we didn't learn something out of with all that time available to us. And thirdly, what seems to be happening is the whole world is becoming more compassionate, and be nice if we could put all that into a little a bank and spread it out over the coming years, and use it more regularly, and not only in moments of crisis.
Oh yeah, more compassion and stop the blaming, right? So I remember having mentioned this in South Africa, wherein I share the first success principle, which is stop blaming, stop complaining, and let's get together for a solution, to find the solution to this crisis.
Absolutely.
Okay, and I hope that after this crisis, you will invite me again. So I'm in touch with Rockefeller Foundation.
Open invitation. Penny, we want to see you here soon.
Yeah, I'm so excited to go back to CapeTown.
No, okay. Please get your airline ticket. I'm sure they're quite reasonable at the moment.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much, Gareth. Thank you very much for spending time with me.
Penny, you take care, and hope to see you soon.
Yes, and I know that we haven't talked to each other for years, yet we have kept the connection. So thank you. Thank you so much. And you have a good weekend.
You too. Greetings to the Philippines.
And from this part of the world to CapeTown, maraming salamat.
Thank you.